Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Rashawn Sugar Ray Marston, and today we are hosting something very, very, very
Oh,
special. We are hosting a virtual panel on sobriety with two of my childhood friends, two people who I love dearly. We got Kaseem Livingston, we got Nya and Kaseem, both from Queensbridge, both from my block, both super dope, super powerful, super great, and both are living a journey of sobriety, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna jump right into it. I know that they're both busy, they both have things going on, parents and business owners and just dope motherfuckers doing dope shit. So first let me thank both of you, right, for joining me today. Right, today is my 3 year sobriety anniversary. Right, where we come from, that shit is not easy.
Congratulations.
Make
congratulations.
that shift, to make those changes,
That's
to
a
just be like,
fact.
I ain't doing that shit no more. That shit is not easy. It's frowned upon actually by some of our peers and some of our friends. Like, you don't drink no more. What you mean? You think you better? All that shit comes. But I'm super grateful. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I was telling somebody yesterday that this is one of the three best decisions I made, right? Like incorporating meditation as a daily practice, becoming vegan, right? Cutting out meat and dairy from my diet, and then cutting out alcohol, man, by far one of the best decisions in my life. And so, I'm grateful. We want to jump right in, man. Talk to Kaseem. Kaseem, if you could just give us a little bit about yourself, right? Who are you? Where you coming from right now? Like, where you at?
Um,
Just give us a little bit about you.
yeah. Well, Kaseem Livingston, as you know, I'm from QB. I currently reside, well, between New Jersey and New York. Um, yeah, I stopped drinking maybe 4 years ago,
Mm.
and I felt like that was one of the best decisions I ever made for my life. As you stated, coming from where we come from is difficult, because you got so many negative influence, and you could be your own individual self, but when you're around people where this is the norm, you can sort of just like slide right into it, and before you know, you lost in the sauce.
Wow.
Facts.
you know and so yeah, I'm just now, I feel like I have my clarity back.
Mm.
I have children. I'm a grandfather. I get to spend time with my grandchild and all that,
Crazy.
and life is lovely. I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. I
Right.
recommend this type of living, this clean, as they
Mm.
say, clean living for anybody and everybody.
Mm. Fire. Fire. We're gonna talk about that more and how your decision has impacted your relationship with your children, like you still
Uh huh.
being your granddaughter. We're gonna get into that. Naya,
Hey,
listen, Naya is Kaz is busy. Kaz is driving. Kaz is a
Yeah, I'm
dad.
gonna pull over at some point. Pardon me.
Oh no, it's all
I
good.
got.
What I'm saying is that Naya ain't driving, but Naya is fucking
don't do that.
moving. She's moving. She is fucking moving. She is lit. She's doing a lot of dope things. Naya, give us a quick intro. Who you are, where you coming from, where you are right now, and yeah, talk a little bit about yourself for a few.
I am Nya Pearson. Hey, y'all. Also, good to see y'all. I am from Queensbridge as well. Not born on Vernon, but a Vernon, what do you call it? Expat
Yep.
or export or whatever. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been sober for 2 years, 7 months. My sobriety date is June 23rd, 2024, 2023, I think. I don't know. But I've been sober for two. I know I've been sober for 2 years
Mhm,
and 7 months and a couple of days.
mhm,
I am the founder of Yams Burlesque, which is the first all black burlesque review in Atlanta, and also the founder of House of Honey Child, which is the first black burlesque school anywhere ever, and just a, a sober lady finally.
mhm.
And I'm enjoying that. To echo everything that Kaz said, I'm just now getting to the point that I feel that clarity.
Mm.
Um, Best decision, maybe second best decision I've made. Right after probably like moving, coming to Atlanta, and yeah, same thing. I recommend it. It is can be difficult, but worth it. I can't think of anything, more worth it than to be like alive, right?
Fact, fact,
Definitely.
Right.
fact.
'Cause I don't know if I would be here if I would have been drinking. I was drinking before I stopped.
So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some of the challenges, right? So I just wanted to echo that 3 years, right? I've experienced some shit in the last 3 years, and I know for a fact if I was still drinking, I would have responded differently, more violently, more aggressively, right? But since having this clarity, right? Since stop drinking and not having that extra battery that it does give you, if you don't want it to, just in your system, I was able to like, again, which I mentioned meditation being one of the gifts that I found as well, being able to sit and ground myself, right? And not have, again, like I said, that extra battery that's like, nah, fuck that. These people trying to play you. Like that. It just speaks to you. That's just, and they call it spirits for a reason.
Definitely.
Right? They call it spirits for a reason. So guys, real quick, I want to go to you, brother. I want to go to you, right? We're gonna ping pong. We're gonna ask some similar questions. I want both of you to answer, and some different questions because both of you as different men and women, just different journeys that you're both on. Kaz, as a father, as a husband, and now as a grandfather, how do you think your change, or how has your adoption of sobriety, how has that changed, impacted, and like added value to your relationships with your wife, with your children, and now with your granddaughter?
That's a great question. I definitely notice a difference, and they do too. As you said, they don't call it spirits for a reason. I mean, for no reason. You think you just being yourself, and you really off. You're off. There's something different about you. There's something different about your demeanor. Something different about how you handle situations. Now I find myself a lot calmer, a lot more attentive. I find that my patience is definitely up, and I get to pay more attention, enjoy more life with my children. The way I speak to them, the way I interact with them. I was just telling you a little while ago off cam, before we started, how yesterday I spent a few hours with my granddaughter. I went and picked her up and took her out to lunch, and we went to the mall. And she's only 3 years old, but I don't think if I was still drinking that's something that I could have done, and that's something that I would have really taken the time to do. I think I would have been busy with other things, and and of course that's not safe because I'm driving, so having her in that type of environment wouldn't have been good either. And I don't even know if her mother would have allowed for that. So yeah, to answer your question, it's definitely altered my relationships for the best with all my relationships, from my wife to my kids to my granddaughter. And I'm definitely glad I made that switch, even though it took some time. I've been, again, coming from where we coming from, that's the norm. So, I found myself just doing it just because it was just like a bad habit. Whatever you practice, you get better at. So unfortunately, practicing that negativity just produced more negativity.
Facts.
And I'm definitely, my relationships have definitely improved, and I think they're getting better every day.
Fire, beautiful response. Thank you so much. I could attest to all of that. Nya, you are a business owner. You are a nightlife business owner, right? You curate and you host, facilitate a lot of events, a lot of discussions. I've been at previous venues that you've had, right? Like you in the nightlife. How has you embracing this sober journey? How has that impacted you as a business owner? How has it changed your relationships? And what are some of the challenges as a business owner, specifically in the nightlife, choosing this sober lifestyle? Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, it absolutely has affected my business and all aspects of my business. I would firstly say, like, the day I decided that I wasn't going to drink anymore, like, I still had to go to work that night and bartend. So I own a bar here in town, and I still had to like. I went to a meeting, so I went through the program of AA to get sober. So after I left my first AA meeting, I kind of chilled out that day, and that night I was like right back in the bar. I still was like handling liquor. I've never stopped like being
Wow.
around alcohol. I never stopped being around it.
Me
And a lot
neither.
of
Yeah.
people, yeah, think that they say like you're really strong or it's like dope or I don't know some sort of extra layer of bravery or discipline, but immediately I was able to notice a difference because people are coming in and they're drinking, but I'm drinking with everybody that's drinking in there, so you get to kind of notice who is there, just paying attention to your habits and how much actually you are really, you know, drinking on the job, allowing things, how people are behaving, just noticing what's
Right.
really happening. And I'm like, I know if I was, you know what I'm saying, drunk, this wouldn't be, this wouldn't be happening this way, or people getting away with things, definitely, absolutely stealing left and right. But I'm drunk every night. So at the end of the night, it's just completely different numbers. I was able to move into a bigger venue space since I've been sober, and that's not something that I could say that's something I'm almost sure that I wouldn't have been able to do that had I been drinking the way that I was. Really, mainly, I don't even know if I would be here for real, honestly, because leaving work drunk every night and just
Wow.
keep getting home, you know what I mean, every night. Like I don't even know if I would be like on earth with the way that I was. So, all of that I'm grateful for. But noticing my relationships with people change. I've been lucky that people have been really encouraging to me. I think because I was just that much of a mess. So people was happy. I didn't get met with much resistance. And I think that was just like the phase that I was at with my drinking. Like it was bad. And so really only one or two people that would still ask me. And almost if I see them to this day, they would still be like, "You sure you don't want to have a drink? You sure you don't want to just
Right.
one? We ain't gonna drink, we ain't gonna
Just
drink." And I'm
one real
like,
quick.
no, yeah, like no,
I'm
not,
good.
not now, not tomorrow, no, not ever, maybe never. You know what I mean? And so that also was interesting. I get paid to entertain, so I was nervous about would I be as entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, am I still gonna be funny? Because I know I'm funny when I'm drunk, but 9 times out of 10, people are laughing at you. So,
Right.
Wow.
Right. Good observation. Right.
right, I'll pass on that. You know what I mean? To have some integrity.
Fire. Yo,
So,
powerful.
yeah, working on that.
Powerful. Powerful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I want to get into a little later some of the dangers, right? Because you spoke about leaving work drunk, right?
Yeah.
Driving, being driven, however, like what were some of those challenges? I want to ask now both of you the same question, Kaz. I'm gonna ping it to you. What led
Okay.
you to embracing sobriety? Like what was it? Was it a specific moment? Was it gradual? So like I know for me, Kaz, before you answer, for me it was I knew that like I mean, how many times we say, yo, I'm not drinking no more, right? We drink, we have a bad experience, wake up throwing up, we have a bad experience, like yo, I ain't drinking no more. And then that night or the next night, 2 days later, you back at it when you feel better, right? It was a bunch of that for me. Like I ain't drinking no more, knowing that I didn't want it, knowing that I didn't need it. But it took a while. It was so for me, it was progression. For some people, it's hard stop. Like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Right. So what was it for you? What led you, Kaz? And the same question is going to be for you, Nya, but Kaz wants you to go first. What led you to sobriety? Give us the real deal. Why did you choose this lifestyle?
So it was definitely gradual. I had a million nights. It felt like where you wake up. Well, I should say days where you wake up and you feel terrible, and you just like, I'm never doing that again to myself. Why? Why do I keep doing this to myself, knowing what the outcome is going to be? Um, I got tired of. I said to myself, I didn't want to be slave to anything.
Mm.
I didn't want anything that I didn't want to feel anything that I felt like I needed to have. When you wake up and it's like you need a drink just to level out. I think they call it what, like hair the dog that bit you or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted my power back. I wanted my control back. I wanted to be who I was without, like Nya said, people are laughing at you. They're not necessarily laughing with you when you out there outside of yourself.
Facts.
Because a lot of people think you drink, and it's like, well, I'm still who I am without the drink. Prove it. Let's see, because
Word.
we don't get to see who you are
Word.
because that drink is lowering your inhibitions. You're doing things that you wouldn't normally do. You saying things that you wouldn't normally say, and sometimes people prefer to have you like that.
Yeah.
People wanna they know you're not at your best, and they feel like they can get over on you when you under the influence of anything,
Facts.
especially alcohol.
Facts.
So as I said, I just wanted me back. I know I came into this world pure, clean, and sober, and I was tired of being altered. I was tired of being outside of myself and feeling like I needed that to blend in or to fit in or whatever the case may be. So I just felt like it was time, and I wanted to do more than just talk about it. And finally, I just took action, and I stopped. And I commend anybody, any way you got to get it done. Like Daya was saying, she went to AA. I actually did it without AA, and I did do some reading. I did do some research, so I still kind of adhered to some of their principles, but I didn't have to actually go into the meetings and whatnot to obtain this, that sobriety or whatever the case. But again, whatever you need to do, whatever's pushing you in that direction, please go ahead and do it, and do it as soon as possible, because
Facts.
it will change your life. And
Facts.
so it took some time. It wasn't it took many times of me saying I'll never do this again, and then doing it again, to just stop and feel like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And also, just to piggyback again on what she was saying, was that I still have friends and family that'll still ask me, well, you sure you don't want just one, or whatever the case may
Yep.
be? And it's like, no, I
Fuck out of
really am
here.
good on that. It's
Right.
that, why would you want me to go back? And I get it. I try not to. I don't judge people, but when you trying to, for me, that's like you setting me up for failure now.
Yep.
Like, come on, you see, I'm doing so much better. Why would you? But I get it. Those spirits still got a hold of you,
Yep.
and you can't help but to try to do, to bring me back over to that side. And I'm not, that part of my life is over with. I'm not doing that no more. And
Powerful. Powerful.
lastly, I know I'm not the type to just take one drink. So
Yep.
I'm
Right.
never gonna do
Yep.
that.
Right.
Yo, guys, that's some shit I said yesterday. I was like, I know I have an addictive personality. I know
Right.
that when I stopped and I said no more, if the next day, next week, it's like, yo, you sure you don't want a little bit of wine? I'm like, no, I don't
Right.
want nothing.
A
You don't
little
want to
bit of
sit
nothing.
there.
Right. I
I
don't want a
want
little bit of
nothing.
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 Because a little
Nah.
bit turns to a lot. I know me.
Ain't no little bit. Right.
A little bit. Nya, talk to us. What led you down this journey? Nightlife, business owner, all of the shit that you're doing in Atlanta, all of the responsibilities. You was lit, you dope, you cool. Why'd you come here? The pressure from being a beautiful woman, from men, from what led you to sobriety?
Shame. So if I'm being straight up honest, shame. And the last time I took a drink, I wasn't even in Atlanta. I was with family. So I was with my husband's family. My like the last day that I got drunk, and I got blackout, shit faced, embarrassed myself, embarrassed everybody drunk. I was drinking on top of a lot of emotions, and to this day, I can't really say what happened, but a lot of stuff went on, and I have feelings about everything that happened, and then everybody else is telling me their account of what went on, and
Right.
how many apology tours you gonna do in your life? You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
nobody was with that. This was my first time meeting a lot of people in this family, and it just went the worst way it could have possibly went, and I was embarrassed. Like, and I done did a bunch of shit drunk. I done been blacked out. I done threw up. I done did a lot, and this was just no more. And he wasn't trying to hear that shit. He was ready to leave, and it was nothing like, what can I do? You know, that is the point that drove me to AA, but just not. I looked at it like this. Okay, so this is what I feel like what happened, and this is what's being said that happened, and I couldn't defend myself, and I was just like, I never want to be in a situation again where someone else is telling me something I did, and I can't say if it's right or if it's wrong or really why, you know, like, and that was the end of, you know, that part of my life. Um, have you ever like thrown something away and then later on you've been like, damn, I really needed that. I wish I ain't throw it away.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I almost did that with my life. You know what I mean? Like everything was like about to be gone. And so I mean, luckily for me, my drunk ass was drunk and I was actually talking to somebody in the program. Not even knowing it. So I think subconsciously, like when I got up the next day and I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. Just from hearing it, not even remember hearing it. But that's what made me decide to go into the program. But the day that I got drunk was my first day. So I used to play like games with myself. I would be like, so you're not gonna drink for 30 days and then you'll drink. You're gonna just drink wine only. You'll just have one beer. I would do that. So this day, me drinking was my first day back drinking from 30 days no drinking. But I used to tell myself, if you can not drink for 30 days or 60 days or whatever, you're not an alcoholic, so you're fine. But I always go back and drink, like you said, we don't drink a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would be drinking and making up for all of the time that.
Yeah.
Doubling down on it, right?
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I had to drink to keep my family together because I did bad.
It's powerful. Now, I want to stay with you real quick. What you have this tough experience, you have this embarrassing experience, you have this feeling of shame. The next day you wake up, I gotta do something different. You go to AA, you're talking to somebody, you go to the program. What was there any tough moments like in going through that in those first couple of days, making that commitment, remembering that past, that recent tough experience, you're in a new program? Was there any tough moments? And if so, how did you overcome them? What did the program give you, or what did you have internally to allow you to keep going through those tough, uncomfortable moments?
So within my first 6 months of sobriety, my aunt died, my grandmother died, and my brother died.
Wow.
In the first 6 months. And I would drink for no reason. I would drink if I was happy, I would drink if I was sad, I would drink it. So all of these things like piling on top of each other. You know, every day was hard anyway. But not being able to drink through those things was tough. I don't even know what else to say besides like the hardest. But again, I just don't know if I would be here. Being in a program and help me not to feel sorry for myself or like make it about me, and also put me in a room full of people that I could relate. So like, yeah, these are bad things that happen to me, but when I'm listening to these stories and I'm like, they didn't drink and this happened to them, like I cannot do it. Also, like the simplest thing that they would say is like, just don't take a drink.
That's it.
Just don't drink today. Like, you know, and I'm grateful for that because I ain't drank. And I'm still here. Like I felt the things, you know, I still feel the things, but you know, I'm learning about myself. The main thing, the best thing that I got from AA is strengthen my relationship with God. Cause like if you leave it up to Nya is gonna drink.
Yeah.
So I have to rely on it like something that is stronger than me to get through these tough things. And I think it just gave me like something that I felt like was relatable all the way around the board. It wasn't too focused on one thing. It's not like a cult or telling me I gotta do anything besides just don't drink. And and sometimes it's still
fire.
Oh yeah.
Powerful. Thank you for that. Thank you for enduring. Thank you for going through those tough moments.
For
right?
real.
Again, as just like me and Cos, we've been friends for so long, right? I was
Right.
telling them how you did my locks when I had locks. You did my braids before locks, right? So like way back. So
Right.
I'm happy that you're still here, right? And I'm sure that everyone
Definitely.
who knows you and loves you is happy that you're still
Same.
here.
Same with y'all. Yeah.
Kaz,
Yes. Yeah.
for you make the decision. I'm not drinking no more. It was gradual for you, right? What were the tough moments? Were there any tough moments those first days, first few weeks, first few months? And if so, what were they, and how did you persist through those tough moments? Because so one thing I've learned in my experience, right? We say we're gonna stop
Right.
doing something. We say we're gonna start doing something. We do it well for a couple of days, and then shit gets tough, and we go back to it. We go back to what's comfortable. We go back to what we know. What kept you through fatherhood, through whatever tough moments were happening? Talk about them, and then what kept you focused on your sober journey?
So I mean that's not an easy question for so many reasons. I don't need it to be. I could definitely get to it, but um things happen. Life is always happening, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Life is gonna go on. Like I said, I felt like I was leaning on the liquor a little too much, and as a result of it, it was just wrecking my life. You know, my relationships with my family, with my wife, my kids. Um, my job situation was, I guess you could call me like functioning at, because I was still doing two jobs, but um, I was still drinking. You know, like whenever I had free time, sometimes in between jobs and all of that other stuff. I just wanted to be free of it. And once I started and I saw that I could do without it, I just kept telling myself, all right, well, if you want to do without it, you have to actually do without it. You got to put it down.
Facts.
That time is over with. I knew I wasn't the type of person, again, to say I can just have one drink. I actually started drinking wine
Mm-hmm.
after I put down the hard alcohol and the hard liquor, and I would just drink mad wine, and I don't even like wine.
Right.
So
Right.
you know what I mean. So finally, I was just like, this is ridiculous. And once I was able to just, once I get, it's really true what they say when it's like one day at a time,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, well, I didn't drink today, I'm not going to drink tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If I make it through tomorrow, then I'm not going to drink the next day.
Facts.
So forth and so on, and then you just keep pushing, and just the I wanted to. I love my family. I wanted to keep my family. I wanted to keep my relationships. I wanted my wife to not not look at me no kind of way because I'm always drinking. You know what I mean? I wanted to be able to sit with myself in peace and know that I didn't have to have a drink.
Word.
I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. I know there's a God above and within. So I was like, I got to take control of my life, and this liquor is not my friend.
Mm.
So it's a constant battle going on. Even nowadays, when still going to functions, still having those family and friends who expect for you to take a drink. You gotta you reminding yourself, nah, that's not what I'm doing no more.
Yep.
I'm not going backwards. It took a lot to get to where I'm at now, and maybe everybody doesn't know my battles. They don't know the struggle, but I'll never forget it, and I'll never forget what it was like going through all that.
Mm.
And I'm just not going back. So I keep that
Powerful.
in my mind. I keep that in my spirit, and I just go forward.
No, it's
I like.
powerful. Powerful. Thank you for that. So one thing I've learned, right, in my journey, in our community, and I think in society in general, is like, oh, everybody's drinking to numb something, right? What are you avoiding? What are you trying to escape?
Right.
What I've learned, yes, there is truth to that, and drinking is just part of our culture, right? It's just what you
Right.
fucking do. I wrote a post earlier. I was like, my grandfather gave me beer, Jamaican, Caribbean, gave me beer at fucking 3 years old. Gave me fucking whiskey at 8. right? Like it's just something that you did. And at 8, I wasn't escaping anything. At 3, I wasn't. It just became part of the culture. So
Right.
I want to ask both of you the is a dual question, right? The first part I want to be a little light. What do we need to change in our culture, or how do we make a shift in our culture to make drinking not normal? Right? It's not something that you just do because it's Friday or because it's Monday or because it's a baby shower or because somebody died, right? And then the second part, and I'll ask it again if you guys forget when you get there, is if you were individually avoiding something or numbing something, what was that you were numbing or avoiding? I want to stay with you, Kas.
Okay.
So the first part is as a cultural norm, how
Right.
can we shift that? What do we need to do to shift that cultural norm from drinking is just an everyday, whether you up or down thing that you just do? And then the second part is if you were avoiding something or numbing something, what was that in you?
Um. So I think as far as shifting, just more positive influence. Teaching the children the right way to go about things, teaching them that they're good enough just the way they are.
Mhm.
You don't have to alter yourself to fit in. You don't have to alter yourself to keep up an image. You know, to pretend that you're something that you are not, and it's okay to be who you are, and that it's better than okay. Just being your natural self is amazing,
Mhm.
and I think we don't get that enough coming from, especially where we coming from. Now, don't get me wrong. Coming from the hood is it could be crazy, as we all know. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's a lot of negativity, but it's also a lot of love.
Yep.
And the same things that go on in the hood go on in the world. You can be
Yep.
anywhere and be negatively influenced.
Yep.
You can be anywhere in a terrible environment. So it's not just coming from where we coming from that you deal with these issues,
Mhm.
but it definitely does play a part. So I think just teaching the children that it's okay to just be you. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to make yourself smaller. You don't have to dumb yourself down to
Facts.
fit in.
Facts.
And if that's the crowd that you hanging in, maybe it's time to hang with somebody else, or
Facts.
hang by yourself.
Facts.
We should be teaching growth. We should be teaching progression. We should be teaching our children how to be the kings and queens that they are, and not
Facts.
just teaching them, you know, uh, um, just having these bad habits for them to pick up, and
Mhm.
we give them the impression that that's the norm. They
Um,
see daddy or mommy or uncle or cousins just out there drinking and smoking all the time, or whatever time they see them altering themselves, and they start to think that's what I have to do to get through life, or this is what, if my father's doing it, then I guess it's okay. If my
Yep.
mother's doing it, it's okay.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think we just need to be more aware that these children are watching us, you know what I mean? And we want to give them the right impression, a good head start in life.
Yep.
And the second part of your question, I didn't. Could you repeat that one more time?
Yes, sir. What were you numbing? What were you avoiding? What were you running away from
Um,
within yourself?
I think. Hmm. Now I have sat with a therapist. That's another thing that I've tried. Just childhood traumas.
Hmm.
You know, thank God. Everything is not physical abuse.
Yep.
You know, some things are mental. I wasn't physically abused. I wasn't sexually abused, but I think mentally there was definitely some abuse going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think just trying to cope with the things that you experienced in your childhood when you were not in control. With things that you couldn't just let me say things that you didn't have any control over, any power over, really, to change, because when you're a child, you're at the mercy of others.
Yeah.
And people, I like to be careful what I say to my children, because words are powerful.
Facts.
Being called outside of your name,
Yep.
called stupid,
Yep.
called whatever the case, you start to believe that.
Yep.
Those words are casting spells, and these things start to become true.
Facts.
And you're feeling bad about yourself, you're feeling bad about your life, and with the drinking, of course, it's like an escape sometimes,
Mhm.
and you feel like you can just forget about that,
Yeah.
and everything will be all right. But what I found is that you forget about it for a short time,
Yep.
but guess what? When you snap out of that haze, all of your problems are still right there waiting for you,
Facts.
and they might even you might have made it worse.
Facts.
You really might have made it worse. So I think I'm to answer your question. I really think I was just trying to get through childhood traumas and whatnot. I think I was trying to tell myself, listen, you're okay. You're great just the way you are.
Mm.
You don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to pretend that you're something you're not. The people who really love you and care about you, they love and care about you just for you being you.
Right.
And if they don't, they're not really your people. You know what I mean? They're not really there
Facts.
for you. And
Facts.
in those cases, you have to be there for yourself at the end of the day, because you was born alone. You going to die alone, so to speak. So so you got to make sure that you doing what's right for you. A lot of
Absolutely.
my, and I apologize because I know a lot of my answers is you'll hear me talking about my children and my relationships and everything, but
Perfect.
what I want people to understand is that it's important to have a good life for yourself, even if you don't have a large family, even if if all you have is you.
Mhm.
You're important. You're worth it. You deserve to live a amazing life, and be careful of all the distractions out there,
Mm.
because they'll get you. And idle hands is the devil's playground. So another thing I wanted to mention about that is that it's just like I tell people and my children, if these drugs, the alcohol, all it really does is sit you down.
Mhm.
It stagnates you, and it keeps you from doing the things that you should be doing
Mhm.
in life, to
Facts.
enrich your life, to enrich your life for yourself, to enrich your life for the people you love. And it's a really big distraction. And now, especially, we living in times where we all need to be focused.
Facts. Big
A
fact.
part of that, getting there, is leaving all of the distractions alone and
Big
focusing on
facts.
what's really important.
Clear mind. Clear
So,
your fucking
so
head.
right.
Nah,
So
big
I hope I answered the question. I know
yes,
I've
sir.
been talking for a minute, so
You
I'm gonna pass
definitely
the mic.
yeah, you answered that shit perfectly. Thank you so much for the detail, for the
Right.
stories, right? Naya, first part of the question, your perspective. What do we have to do? What can we do to shift the culture so that it's not part of our fucking norm?
We have to. And you said everything, guys. Like you said it all. So this is just
Thanks.
gonna be me piggybacking and
All right,
reiterating
cool.
everything you said. But we have to stop making it the focal point of our gathering.
Mm,
So at a funeral, everybody's
Mm,
drunk. At a
nice.
wedding, everybody's drunk. At a party,
Right.
everybody. It is the centerpiece of
Right.
the of whatever when we gather, whatever we feel. Um, all of the examples, like everything you see on TV. How do you know a person's cool? By them drinking, by them smoking a cigarette. Like how these things are. But we are blessed to be able to be living examples
mhm.
and like being around and doing things and still, hopefully seeming semi cool at least
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
being
we lit.
sober.
Yeah, we lit. We lit.
um,
Cool. Yeah.
letting people know, like, talking about your sobriety, I guess in a way that I feel like that you're still relatable.
Yep.
Like for me, I'm honest with people and people are like, do you? And I'm like, this is hard. You know what I mean? It's
Uh,
not easy every day. I'm
Mhm.
not pretending like you could just do it on your, some people can do it on their property,
Some
like
people,
act
right,
out
right,
seven
right.
half, but like, yo, if you need help, there's no shame in that.
Yep.
If you need
Not
to
at
talk
all.
to somebody, there's no shame in that. If you need to call
Not at
somebody
all.
every day, you know what I mean? If you just want to come
Do
over here
that.
and be boring, do it,
Right.
but like, I'm an example of like I said, somebody that's still you can still be in these environments, even
Yep.
be around these people, and
Right.
just say no, But I think and I notice it because like I said, I'm still in these places. People ain't drinking as much as they were.
Facts.
And
Mm.
then those people, some of them dead, they not even really here.
Right.
But
Right.
people are taking care of themselves in other ways
Yep.
and holding each other accountable.
Yep.
All
Right.
it takes is for like the right person, for some of us to pull us to the side and be like, yo, you all right?
Yep.
I remember one time I was in a club and what I felt like was the drunkest person in there came to me and was like, yo, you good? And I'm like, something got to be going
Yeah.
on. If he asking me am I okay,
Right.
something got to be happening here.
Right.
And
Right.
that might have not been the day that I stopped drinking, but I still think about that.
Yep.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so just being a space, making yourself available to where people, if they do have questions about it, they can ask you about it, and you telling them the truth about this thing.
Right.
But mainly, I feel like just stop centering liquor over everything you do. You know what I mean?
Good
Like,
point.
why when there's a baby born, we got to be drunk?
Right.
Why whenever
In
we
the
gotta go on a
hospital.
date?
Everything.
At the when the baby's born, we're there drinking.
Yeah. You can't sit and like date or meet somebody or be around somebody or you want to be intimate or whatever without being like drunk first. And
Right.
that's just we just gotta like the less we do that, the better I feel like off we'll be.
Absolutely. Agree.
Absolutely. And then talk to us the second part. The second part is if you were avoiding, numbing anything, what was that? What were you trying to avoid? What were you numbing inside of yourself when you were still drinking?
Yeah, I don't think that initially when I started drinking, I think it was social, um,
Right.
and random. And I was like, y'all know if you remember, like I used to rap, and what did rappers do? Like I remember, I don't remember how old I was or whatever. I don't even remember the first time I had a drink, but I remember going to the store, getting a fucking 40 ounce of St. Ives and drinking it to
And
be what
drinking
I
that
thought
shit.
rappers would like to be
Right.
cool. You know what I mean? Like for
Right.
what? And I'm like 14 or something.
Yeah.
Imagine a little girl just going to the store getting a beer and just drinking a 40.
Crazy.
Like, because that was what I saw and that's what I wanted to like emulate. So
Crazy.
I started drinking socially like that, and I was never good at drinking. But I'd say like when my drinking really, really progressed was when I was dancing. So I did like, adult entertainment for a while. And there was no way I feel like I could have did that, like realistically, me sober.
Well, I get
Now
it.
I don't even see how I would have did it because it's like a little bit too much to be in here, doing this stuff, and the people that you have to deal with,
Right.
just a lot of deviant behavior all the way or all around the board.
Right.
And so I drunk from them while I was getting ready. Like I got a wine on the way to the back.
Right.
Sometimes I sold a bottle of liquor on my way home to drink. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because and I would make a joke out of it, like, okay, time to check out. And it was just to like not feel the things or like not be there and be present. Because the
Right.
real me is not going to give you the same experience that the drunk me is.
Right. Right.
We ain't going to have
That's
a
a
good time
fact.
like that.
Right.
And most of the time, even outside of that, I was drinking. What I feel like now was to make what I felt like other people comfortable. So like I might not be in a fun mood or want to be the most social person or the center of the room. But like drunk me is with whatever. Like come on,
Right.
let's go do the thing. So it was
Right.
really to like fit into this groove or to make other people comfortable with me. And now it's just like, hey, if you don't like, this stiff lady over here, then we
Right.
just might not be. I might not be in entertainment for the night. You know what I mean? It just might not. This might not be the right room for me to be in. If I can't be in this room with my mental
Right. Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I hope that answers the question.
Of course you did. Thank you. So we want to get to some questions. We got about 15 minutes left. We want to get to some questions from the audience. First, we want to say hi to your uncle. Shane say, love you, nephew. Right? He stands with both.
Love you too,
Shane is really proud of your decision and journey.
Yeah.
Randy dropped a comment. He said, I remember being a kid at family functions and couldn't wait until I was old enough to drink and have fun like the grown.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Mona Love, my fiance, she said lead by example, speaking to what both of you were saying. Right, we got a few more comments. Ruck said Naya started everybody's here.
Right.
It loves you. It loves you. Ruck loves you, Naya.
I love you too. It's heading
Um,
down to the floor now, right? Probably.
Mia Wright said an addiction can be anything that is pulling your attention toward the wrong thing. Call me Maya said, Naya, you look beautiful, teeth bright, skin glowing. Right.
Right.
Randy said, and this is we all know Randy, my brother. We were texting this morning, texting yesterday. He just said, actually, I'm ready to stop. I'm tired of having a 2-day hangover now that I'm older. Powerful, powerful, powerful. That's what these discussions can do. They can inspire our peers to reflect, to think, and to feel safe, right? One thing I've learned as a brain coach, right, really studying neuroscience, is that change doesn't happen by force. It doesn't happen even sometimes when you feel danger, when you know that you can get hurt. You don't always change. Change happens when you have the awareness and you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
You're safe enough, like, you know what? I can be me. I'm safe enough to like let the real me shine through, whatever that is, right? So now we had a question. We had a deep question that I want both of you to answer from my fiance Kimona. She said, "Did any of you ruin relationships due to your actions while drinking? Have they been repaired? Have you ended any relationship as a result of your sobriety and clarity? And how was that process for you?" Naya, I want to go with you. If you can answer. If you need me to repeat it, let me know.
Yes, please. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
So let's go to parts. So the first part is, did any of you ruin relationships due to your actions while drinking, and have they been repaired?
Yeah. So, I'm in the process always of like making amends and going back. Every day I'm thinking about things that I did, people that I thought was, you know what I mean, did something to me, but it turns out when I think about it, it's like, no, your drunk ass probably had a part in it too. Definitely relationships, mainly like romantic relationships. If I look back at it, they were always a terrible bad guy. But when I think about, what people had to deal with to be with me through all of that, you know what I mean? The hot messness. And the relationship that I'm in now. So that just took a lot of amends, and it took like some real hardcore accountability about my drinking. Actually, my partner, he stopped drinking a year before me. So I can't even imagine what that drunk ass year was like for him to deal with me and be on his own sobriety journey. And I mean, he did everything before then, just watching me, writing me letters, songs, begging me, joking about it, being serious about it, ultimately everything. And it just took, that one thing for me to stop. But it's once you get enough clarity, it's a constant. You got to constantly go back and do your inventory and think about your part in things that you played, And there was a lot of times where it was you, girl. Like it was you. You thought it was them, but it was you. So yes. And what was the second part of the first question?
Part of the first question was, well, so have they been repaired? You said yes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, have you ended any relationships as a result of your sobriety? Since
Yes.
being sober, have you ended any relationships? And how was that process for you of ending those relationships now that you are sober?
Yes. And it was beautiful. It would, I feel like, have been more difficult, but it's much easier because of that mental clarity that we are talking about. So you just meet people all over again. First, you meet yourself again, because like now I know who I am. I know who I am without my drinking, and I've been drinking, like I said, since I was like 14. So who is Nya without this? Like, where do I like to go now that I'm sober, and those kind of things. So a lot of people that I was around that I couldn't be around sober. It's like now, you know what I mean? Like, do we even like each other, or do we just both like Hennessy? You know what I mean? And so, meeting people when it comes to integrity, because I have a different moral code and set a different standard for myself. So it's a lot easier to be like, hey, I can't associate with this.
Yep.
And it can be subtle sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, hey, we ain't meshing no more, so it's natural. And sometimes I actually have a sibling, and I won't stay on it for too long, but I have decided, or we came to the conclusion that I can't be around them until they're ready to be proactive or sober, because it would be too difficult to watch. So I'm just like, now that was hard. But other than that, I feel like in your daily and your interactions with your people, your people will stick and stay. You'll see who's really for you and who been on BS the whole time. You know,
Yeah.
it becomes a lot clearer to you. But it's
Powerful.
doable. It's doable. If my drunk ass can do it, anybody can do
Yo,
it.
thank you for that vulnerability and that transparency.
Yeah.
Right. Kaseem, same question. Part one is did you ruin any relationships due to your actions while drinking, and have they been repaired? You muted. You muted, Kaseem. You're on mute. You are still on mute. Can hear you.
Oh,
Go, come back.
I
You are
think we
muted.
in now.
You
They mute.
you
Yeah.
still on mute, brother. Cos is a little. Cos is an OG now. Now he a grandfather. He don't know how to
I
use
see.
technology no more. He got the motherfucking grandpa bed.
I see.
He's still on mute.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to unmute you, but you muted yourself.
Hold on. What
Oh,
about
There,
now?
there you
Can you?
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
There
All
you go.
right, cool. Sorry about that.
Nah, no worries, brother. Listen, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, I definitely ruined a big relationship. My wife, she was tired of my shit, and I thought I was normal because I was still going to work. I was still doing two jobs, but apparently I was somebody different when I was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was more sheltered. I'd go sit in the bathroom and drink and smoke and just chill in there until I felt like I was in the headspace to come out and deal with my family after a long day of work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, she got tired of it. She used to say things like, "I just want my husband back," and I'm
Mm.
like, "What you mean? I'm right here. You know what you talk about?" And she's like, "No, you're totally different. You're somebody different when you're drinking." Um, Yeah, like Nya said, getting just to know myself. I got myself back. I ruined that relationship with myself
Mm.
because I wasn't living up to my full potential. I wasn't being productive. I was stuck. I was just. It wasn't. I wouldn't even classify it as living. I was just existing.
Mm.
Brain numb. Uh, stuck in traumas and just life that happened before that I didn't have to be in. I should have been fighting my way out of those negative spaces, and instead I was trying to numb them with the alcohol.
Mm.
So yes, I definitely damaged the relationship with my wife and my family, and I damaged the relationship with myself because you got to be able to look you in the mirror. You got you no matter what. No matter where you go, you
Yeah,
are
you
who
are.
you are, and you got to be happy with that. Cause I mean, damn, who wants to be stuck in their head and not even liking themselves?
Facts. Big facts.
So yeah, those
Big.
relationships were damaged, and through the
Then,
grace of God, they were repaired. Like I said, my wife, she's so proud of me. Her family, my family, they just proud that it because once these things grab a hold of you, it's everybody can't just even with help, people
yeah,
don't give up these bad habits.
yeah,
So you got to really be super focused because even if the whole world wants something better for you,
yeah.
it's not going to take
You take,
hold. It's not going
you,
until you want that.
you want it. No, that's
And
powerful.
and
I
and
want to.
again, take every everything you have at your disposal to get it done. I encourage everybody to take the shackles off because these are that addiction is it's like a shackle on your soul. It's holding
Fucking
you
regular.
down.
That
It's
fucking regular.
it's holding you back. It's keeping you stagnant. You need to be focused in this world. You need to be really putting forth your best foot for yourself and for the people you love. And lastly, I was able to repair those situations because me and my wife, we going on, 25 years of marriage now?
Fire, fire,
You know what I mean? We still
fire,
together and we still
fire.
I mean, it's marriage, so you know it's ups and downs, but we still happy and all that. We still making it work.
I want to jump in real quick because I want you to answer the second part. We have 5 minutes left. I don't want to keep you guys past your time.
Right.
I got some stuff to do. The second part of that question before we get to wrap up. Since being sober, have you ended any relationship? And how was that process for you? Since becoming sober, in 2 minutes, have you ended any relationships?
I think inadvertently, yes. I don't, you know, there's nothing that I said, okay, I see, you know, we had nothing in common but to drink. You know, it's nobody that I know like that, but there's a lot of people who sort of fell out of my life. It's a lot of people whose lives I fell out of because, I mean, truly, that was the only thing we had in common, you know? And if I'm not in that state of mind, and I don't have any reason to be around you, you know, and you being in that state of mind, I really don't have a reason for you to be around me. So inadvertently, I think several relationships came to an end. I just can't pinpoint them right now. But, you know, I feel like if people really love you and care about you, they want to see you grow. If they see something that's hurting you, they want to see you, you know, rid yourself of that, and they're going to support you in any way possible. I still have friends that do drink and smoke that encourage me all the time to keep up on my journey. You know what I mean? And maybe they're the way they do it. Like I said, I can't just have one drink. You know, maybe they can. Some people are capable of that. I'm not one of those people.
Not us. we know our limits. So
I'm not one of those people. Once that bottle pop, we going.
And we might get a second one and a third one because, like, why not?
Right.
Why the hell not?
But so real quick, man, to wrap up. Right, this was an incredible discussion. I think that we've had family on here. We've had some of our childhood friends have chimed in, right, and just sending love and sending encouragement, and they're loving the conversation. We have at least one person who said that they were sober curious, who said that they wanted to stop drinking on this live. At least one person, Randy Bowens, who's also from Queensbridge, said that he's ready to stop. He's tired of waking up with a 2-day hangover. To anybody watching who's here live or who will watch, because this is recorded, it's going to be saved, people can watch it later. What would you say in 1 minute or less to anybody who's sober curious? Nya, you go first.
Well, I would encourage you to seek out people that are on the path that you want to walk. So for me, I did it on my own for, you know, small bouts at a time. But, I went through AA and it worked for me.
Nice.
It might not work for everybody, but for me,
it worked. Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to say go ahead and join the program. Like I said, if my drunk ass could do it, you can do it.
Me too. Trust me, if I can get it done, anybody can do it.
Like, start today. Just say no to that first one. Just don't drink the first one. It's all right over here. Like, we okay. You gonna be good.
Good, right. You're still living life, you know.
Yeah, and also, like, you can reach out. I don't know if our information is gonna be available.
Yes,
I don't know who you are, but
Yep.
yeah, you have resources. Just seek the people out. It's a lot of us out here. We gang.
That's the gang. So at least somebody else just said, basically, as Nya, you were talking, somebody else said they're also sober curious, right? Me too. Right. So this shit is big. Kaseem, 1 minute or less, what would you say to somebody watching who wants to go on the sober path?
You could definitely do it. I drank for over 30 years. I started about 14 and whatnot too. It wasn't bad in the very beginning. It was just social and whatnot. It creeps up on you, you know. Before you know it, it's tapping you on your shoulder, and it's like you need that every day. You need it all the time. I would say to anybody who's curious about it, listen, love yourself enough to do that. You deserve the best. You know, it's okay. You're amazing just the way you are. You don't need to alter your mind state and become somebody else to be around other people or to even look yourself in the mirror. If you are having that type of issue, find the help you need. Reach out to people. You know, obviously you hurting. Let people know you hurting. Look for your tribe. You know what I mean? We definitely out here. Life still goes on. I don't feel like I'm missing out on nothing.
Right.
I feel like I found myself again. I found God. I found love. I found my family. I found my friends.
Fire.
Peace is out there waiting for you. You just gotta reach out and grab it. Don't just start today. Just don't drink today. Then tomorrow, don't drink tomorrow and keep going.
Fire. Yo, thank you for that. Nya, I got a charge to you. Can we figure out a way to do this shit in person in Atlanta? This shit needs to come off screen. We got to find a venue. Like, this shit is dope.
I have a venue.
I know you got a venue.
Come.
I'm just saying we got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
We impact their lives, and there's so many people out there who want this. I know it because I'm outside. We outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know people who may be struggling, who don't know what to say, but we know that they'll show up and like they'll take some info. I want to say thank you to both of you. Thank you first for going on a journey to find yourself, to commit to yourself, to love yourself, to be honest with yourself, and to hold yourself. I want to say thank you for showing up today for me. Right? It's so inspiring. Like I said, Kosh, you stopped before me. When we talked, I was like, yeah, I think I was still drinking. You in the Queensbridge one time, I was like, nah, I don't even drink no more. I'm not even smoking no more neither. It's been 8 months. I'm like, oh shit. We used to drink and smoke on the block. Right? So like that was inspiring. And then now I'm on my journey. Now I see Nya on her journey. Now I'm like, we gang. Like now, yes, to myself, but I got a close friend who's also on a journey. So like, even if she got nobody else to look to, she's looking at me. I got to keep it going. And yeah, just thank you both for being who you are, for being how you are. And I just to as the last word from me, to you all, to the audience, sober is lit. Like respectfully, I think I'm one of the littest people on fucking earth. Right? Like I'm dope. I'm great. My creativity is flowing, and like I know I'm not the best person, so I know that like whoever you are. You could be fucking dope, and you are dope. And like you doper when you sober. That's a shirt. You doper when you sober. That's a listen, I love you guys. I ain't gonna keep you guys too longer.
Thank you.
All right, let's figure that shit out.
And happy soberversary. Happy sober birthday.
Yeah, enjoy that, man. Keep up the good work.
And thank
Everybody's
you.
in New York or New Jersey can get to New York. We having a party at my crib tonight, 8 to 11. We got a bunch of fucking sparkling cider. We got a bunch of vegan food. I mean, I'm about to pop my bottle of toast, non-alcoholic beverage. And yeah, man, it's lit, it's love. I love you both. I appreciate you both. Thank you so much. And let's keep this conversation going. Let's figure it out, man.
I love you too. Thank you. Yeah, hit me up.
Got you. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Okay, peace.